If Terence Crawford moves up to fight Canelo, it's going to be a worse fight than fucking Charlo running around Canelo by murder against Crawford. That shit wouldn't happen. They have weight classes.
Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are gearing up for a highly anticipated showdown around the Cinco de Mayo weekend. However, for Crawford, the challenge goes beyond facing his formidable Mexican opponent. He also has to contend with the loud voices of his critics. While Crawford is no stranger to doubt, this time the skepticism is stronger than ever, and that includes the incredible controversy surrounding the conclusion of the fight. Clearly, there is no lack of focus or intention. He is fully dedicated to facing the formidable Mexican champion. Crawford has always been able to deal with doubt, but this time, the scrutiny is intense.
Crawford cares about his life, and with that fight, what do that fight do for Canelo? Fighting Crawford, and Crawford beats Canelo. What do that do for Canelo?
Crawford, despite his accomplishments, is again facing heavy skepticism. Many boxing professionals are urging him not to jeopardize his undefeated record, warning that stepping into the ring against Canelo could result in his first career loss. While Crawford has proven himself time and again, the challenge he faces against a fighter of Canelo's caliber is immense.
There are so many other fights to make that's realistic, it makes sense, and less life risking on top of the risk that we risk stepping in there with guys out.
Roy Jones, one of the most dominant boxers of his era, continues to stay deeply involved in the careers of today's rising stars. Among them, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez shine as two of the best pound-for-pound fighters of this generation. The prospect of a potential clash between these two has sparked excitement and captured the imagination of boxing fans worldwide. It looks like Roy Jones is ready to see this fight unfold and is eagerly anticipating it.
Boot time to take over and start beating the guys around him. He's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy.
Terence Crawford, a 4-division world champion, has expressed interest in taking on Canelo Alvarez, the reigning super middleweight king. However, the significant weight difference between the two presents a major challenge for the American fighter. This weight disparity could be a deciding factor in the outcome of the fight.
Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble.
In an interview with Mill City Boxing, Roy Jones Jr. shared his thoughts on the hypothetical clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. While he praised Crawford's exceptional talent and skills, the legendary boxer leaned towards Canelo as the favorite. "I like Terence, but I'm going to lean towards Canelo early because of his size," Jones said. However, if he lets Terence get into the fight, Terence is going to be a problem. If Terence can handle the size difference, he'll beat him. Jones also highlighted the importance of Canelo's punching power, emphasizing it as a decisive factor in the outcome of the fight. In a fight, you just have to trust that person in the ring. You don't have time to lose, Jones added. If Canelo lets Terence get into the fight, Terence might win. But I like to start with Canelo right off the bat.
If he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez next. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets the win.
That's the thing, Jones Jr. explained. We won't know until we see Terence get hit because we haven't seen him take that kind of power. That's the deciding factor. If you can disrupt Bud's fight plan by hurting him, you've got a chance to beat him. But if you can't hurt him, you can't change his plan, and you're in trouble. This analysis highlights Crawford's need to neutralize Canelo's renowned power. If Crawford can rely on his technical boxing skills and effectively avoid Canelo's devastating punches, he could potentially pull off a historic upset. While the possibility of a Canelo vs Crawford fight remains a dream scenario for fans, Canelo Alvarez is currently focused on preparing for his next opponent.
A little big for Crawford, I'm not sure about that because Crawford does have punching power and shock, but I think Canelo's a little big. He showed tonight that he's pretty big, so I probably would rather see
International Boxing Federation interim champion William Skull has recently been mentioned as a potential opponent. However, this wasn't always the focus for Roy Jones Jr., the Hall of Famer now serving as a promoter, trainer, and respected analyst. He had previously shared scenarios where he believed both Terence Crawford and David Benavidez could defeat Canelo Alvarez before revising his stance. Speaking about Benavidez, Jones acknowledged the complexity of the matchup. "It's a tough fight to call because Benavidez throws a lot of punches," Jones said in an interview with BoxingScene.com. "Sometimes power can intervene and change the situation."
Charlo fight Crawford first, and then see how that goes. If he does good against Charlo with the weight, then let's see him come up and fight Canelo. Yes, but not right.
"The problem is whether Canelo is willing to take the risk," Jones remarked. "I don't think he will right now because I don't believe he feels he has a reason to. If he can't hurt Benavidez early in the first 3 or 4 rounds, I don't see him winning that fight." David Benavidez, a 2-time 168-pounds titleist, has been pushing for a showdown with Alvarez for over 2 years. At the same time, Terence Crawford, formerly recognized as the best welterweight in the world, has expressed his willingness to move up 2 weight classes for a chance to face the Mexican star. However, Alvarez remains skeptical about the significance of a victory over Crawford, claiming it would add little to his legacy. Despite this, many believe Crawford has a genuine shot at pulling off the upset.
Crawford come up with some weight classes and show he can be dominant at 54. You understand?
That fight was done Crawford and
Crawford won a pound.
If anyone can pull it off, it's Crawford. "You can't tell him no," said Jones. "I was the kind of guy who, if someone claimed they were better than me and I could get close to their weight, here I come. I gave John Ruiz 33 pounds when I won the heavyweight title in 2003. I didn't care. I wanted to prove I was pound for pound the best and do something historic that had never been done." That's probably how Bud feels right now. He wants to achieve something historic to cement his legacy in boxing. Who wouldn't want to see the pound for pound best from yesterday face the pound for pound best of today? It's a mega fight. If Bud puts on the muscle and the weight, how can you doubt him? One thing is certain, he's not just going out there to collect a paycheck. He'll step into that ring to win because that's who Bud is. If he carries the weight well, it'll be a great fight. He can box like Floyd Mayweather, but he can also fight. He hits without getting hit. If he can handle the power at that weight, there's a good chance he wins the fight.
I can bet the house on is Bud, because me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like soon as I see this dude,
Jones, a 4-division title holder who frequently fluctuated in weight during the latter half of his career, believes Canelo Alvarez should focus on staying at super middleweight. "It's definitely best for Alvarez to stay at 168, Jones said. "Before long, though, I didn't understand why he went up to 175 to fight Dmitry Bivol in the first place. He had already beaten Sergey Kovalev, who was at the end of his career. Bivol, on the other hand, is in his prime. They are 2 completely different animals. He got Kovalev at the right time. Canelo should go back down and dominate his division. Don't try to take on another challenge like that because lightning isn't going to strike twice." Meanwhile, former 2-time world champion Andre Ward has also shared his thoughts on the potential super fight between Saul, Canelo, Alvarez and Terence Crawford, adding more intrigue to the ongoing discussions.
we so much alike in our mentality. Like soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball.
Terence "Bud" Crawford has had his sights set on Canelo Alvarez ever since delivering a career-defining performance against welterweight rival Errol Spence Jr. last year. While Canelo initially dismissed the idea of a fight, he recently revealed that he would consider defending his super middleweight titles against the naturally smaller Crawford if the financial incentive was compelling enough. Speaking on the All the Smoke podcast, former undefeated champion Andre Ward, who retired with a flawless 32-0 record, shared his thoughts on the most intriguing matchups in boxing. "I want to see Canelo fight either Terence Crawford or David Benavidez," Ward said. "You've got 2 options, you can face someone in your weight class or you can take on the smaller guy, Terence Crawford."
Wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that dude.
When it comes to the potential Crawford-Canelo clash, Andre Ward says his money is on the fighter who last competed 3 weight classes lower. "I'm not betting against Terence right now against anybody," Ward stated. "We're talking about the most skilled fighters in the game today. and Crawford is someone you can bet the house on. He's not just skillful, his heart and mindset set him apart. Me and him are so much alike in our mentality. There aren't many guys like that out there right now. A lot of guys talk the talk, but until you get in that real fight, we don't know what you truly have. I'm not saying he's an easy fight, but in a 50-50th matchup, that's when we see who you really are.
Canelo. Like I said, I've been saying this. I don't think size win fights. I think skills do. So yeah, I think like being a southpaw with good movement and sharp boxing, it'd be hard for Canelo with that high guard to walk him down and load up on them big hooks. I think Bud would be Canelo.
He's different. He's a dog. That's the kind of stuff that gets me out of my seat, says Shakur Stevenson, who refers to Terence Crawford as his big brother. Stevenson believes Crawford would defeat Canelo Alvarez if they ever met in the ring, despite the significant 14-pound weight disadvantage Crawford would face against the Mexican superstar. Unlike Jermall Charlo, Canelo has expressed no interest in facing Crawford, citing the size difference as a major factor. However, Stevenson doesn't see the weight as an issue for Crawford, believing that skills, not size, ultimately win fights. The former two-weight world champion is confident that Crawford's southpaw stance, excellent movement, and solid fundamentals give him the winning formula to trouble Canelo and secure a victory.
Who knows? That smile's telling me something else, bro. I think it might be on the line, no? I'm just saying, man. We can't say it's not going to happen. We can't say that.
When discussing Terence Crawford's next move with IFL TV, Shakur Stevenson shared his thoughts on the current landscape of boxing. Terence Crawford is running things right now, Stevenson said. As for who he should face next, I'd love to see him take on Charlo. Although Charlo is already set to fight Canelo, I genuinely believe Crawford could beat Canelo. Being a southpaw with excellent movement and solid boxing skills, it would be tough for Canelo to walk him down and land his powerful hooks. I wish Charlo wasn't fighting Canelo, but it is what it is. I truly think Bud could beat Canelo, and I'd love to see it, because for me, size doesn't win fights, skills do.
No, because the way Crawford is doing it is because he knows it's the biggest payday in his life, and he'll never, maybe what he could get against Canelo, he's never made in all his fights combined.
The potential matchup between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is one of the most exciting fights that could be made in boxing today. With Saudi Arabia's increasing involvement in the sport, it seems more feasible than ever. Trainer Robert Garcia discussed how Canelo holds an advantage over Crawford while also addressing Crawford's situation. He clarified that if Crawford doesn't get a fight against Canelo soon, the Omaha boxer may very well choose to retire. But the beauty of the matter is that Canelo is already motivated, and if that frustration doesn't drive Crawford to the mat, the fight could become a reality.
So of course, why would he call up Benavidez when he's calling out Canelo knowing that he's going to make double the money?
Because he wants to fight at 68, that's why.
So that's why, Eddie.
Crawford is a smart man. He's already accomplished everything he set out to do, Garcia said in an interview with Fight Hype. He's achieved a lot and doesn't need to challenge himself further. He doesn't have anything left to prove. I've spoken with him personally, and my feeling is that he wants that big fight against Canelo. If he doesn't get it, he might just retire. Garcia went on to say that Crawford still has plenty of options in the junior middleweight division if he chooses to challenge the current champions. The most enticing option is the WBC and WBO champion, Sebastian Fundora. Crawford could also target IBF champion Jermall Charlo, Virgil Ortiz Jr., Sergey Bohacek, and Xander Zayas as potential opponents.
You know why? He wants to make the biggest fucking payday.
Does he have a chance in the fight?
Everybody has a chance, but I think he'll put up some good rounds. I think he loses to Canelo, but he'll put up good rounds. Better than Charlo did.
For Robert Garcia, Crawford no longer needs to seek another fight. Given his outstanding career and unbeaten record, he has nothing left to prove. He's already accomplished it, Garcia explained. I don't see him fighting just to satisfy fans who say he needs to face this or that opponent.